Good afternoon and welcome back, of course, for another weekend roundup of the KFC Under 18 Elite Cup. We'll be having for you on the first game today, Harbour taking on Waterhouse. Harbour, of course, coming off a narrow defeat to Mount Pleasant on Thursday. Late winner from Franco Celestin making his return to this competition after, of course, being one of the key men in Mount Pleasant's win last year over the same opposition in the final last season. Scored, of course, in that final and had about 3 goals in the competition overall. He put on a great performance, and I have to say, Harbour will have vengeance in their sights. They'll be looking to get back to winning ways against a Waterhouse team that has been really in sensational form in this competition. Didn't start off the competition particularly well, losing 4-1 to Mount Pleasant themselves, but since then they've rebounded pretty well. Won 3 games and they've been pretty formidable, especially at the back. Of course, Jamon Lyle, their key man, has been integral for them up front in terms of getting chances, but scoring chances, that is. But of course, they have been without him for quite some time. They'll be hoping that their leading supporting cast members can step up in his absence. But nevertheless, do have a full slate of games for you as usual today. As mentioned before, Mount Pleasant will be taking on Harbour. Well, Harbour will be taking on Waterhouse. My apologies. After which Montego Bay United will be taking on Ballers Academy, and KFA, Kingston Football Academy, that is, they will be taking on Portmore United. Stay tuned. We'll be having the games for you coming up. It's scheduled to start at 12:30. Not sure if we'll be able to adhere to that time, but nevertheless, that's what it is slated to be in terms of kickoff time. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.
Get them prayers in and ready. Yo! Put this behind the goal. Right here. As you run 2 times interior. You 2 minutes?
Lamy, come in, Lamy, we are go over this stuff.
We start there, you walk out and shake on everything. Oh, alright, yeah. Come in. Yo, make sure the prayer ready. Let's not play for the first man. That's fine. Come in. Reach yourself. That's like an art. No matter the foolishness. Yo, no matter the demoralizing. Don't tell us art now.
So yeah, take it today.
You don't even want to. No man, you give me last week, man. Let me come on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. About to get underway now for the kickoff of the first match in the KFC U18 League Cup. We have Harbour and Waterhouse set to kick off, as I mentioned before. As you can see, the teams lining up here. Just to give you a quick rundown of the lineups for both teams. In goal for Harbour. Harbour in goal have Daquan Jemison. Then they have Kevon Brown, Tristan Bethune, Jelani Harvey, Stephen John Beckford, Peyton Larman, Kajay Fletcher, Andre Ellis, Taquan Underhill, Zaire Dowse, and Malik Wright in the starting lineup today. Of course, that means no Tyreek Robinson, who has been in really good form since making his return to this competition. 2 goals in his 2 games that he played, including a penalty last week. Well, earlier this week, I should say, against Mount Pleasant. And for Waterhouse, as I mentioned before, there'll be no Jalmon Lyle today. We have Shamar Watt, Garrick Taylor, Howard Linton, Tahir Harnett in goal, Jaheim Fuller, Hakim Yuan, Dimitri Robinson up front, Adonijah Burford, Shamar Lamy, and Sean Churcher. Referee blows his whistle and we are on the way here. Lorman looking down that left hand side for Malik Wright, unable to find him. And a pretty frantic start already to this game. And Jashawn Edwards, but among the key figures that are still a part of the team, of course, still have Zaire Dowse, still have players like Kajay Fletcher, Peyton Larman, especially Peyton Larman, who's already made his Jamaican Premier League debut and played a couple of games. Harnett calmly collects that one. Must say, still promises to be an exciting clash. I'm looking forward to see how this Waterhouse team play in the face of not necessarily having their, I suppose it's not even arguable at this point, but their most important player, their best player. But I have to say, perhaps maybe just as important, maybe not as offensively gifted, but perhaps just as important is their midfielder, deep-lying midfielder Howard Linton, who sometimes plays centre-back, drifting into those deep positions. He's been fantastic so far in this competition. Definitely worth pointing out his excellent run of form. But now his Church are trying to break into the box. And oh, he's lost the ball here. Beckford, and a shot here coming for Waterhouse. Almost opened the scoring there, Shamar Lamy. And it seems to have taken a touch off a defender here, and that's gone out for a corner kick. Waterhouse already putting them under pressure. Not the best of corners here. Does find Sean Churcher trying to make something of this opportunity. Unable to on that occasion. Peyton Larman gives the ball to Dowse, who clears downfield. Now Shamar Watt almost lost the ball to take on Underhill, who's putting him under some pressure. And Malik Rice won the ball high up the pitch here for Harbour View. Here's Kajay Fletcher, who's been in excellent form yet again this season, continuing his form from last. Johnny Harvey. Fletcher gets by his man, gets past another defender as an opportunity to cross. Instead, it's Harvey with the cross, not the best of crosses there. Pass from Giant Fuller goes astray, and that will be a throw-in to Harbour View. That goes out for a throw-in there to Waterhouse. Linton. Ewan. Back to Linton. Lovely idea, but the execution just not quite good enough, and that will be quite easy for Deacon Jemison in goal to collect. He's had a few injury problems so far this season. I'll be hoping that he is kept injury free today. Now here's Douse. Lovely switch of play, but a bit too much on it for Malik Wright to keep in play there. That's cleared downfield by Bethune. Throw in for Harbour View. Poor touch there on the hill, but it goes all the way to Larman. Dangerous position to shoot, but comfortable save in the end for Tahir Harnett in goal. Ball kind of bubbled up for him there, but still able to get a shot off. Burford leaves it for Fuller. Cross comes in looking for Churchill, but put out of play wisely in the end by Kevon Brown, and that will be a corner kick to Waterhouse, who have begun this game really positively here. And I have to say, I've already pointed it out, but they have progressed rather nicely as this competition has gone on. They've just gotten better and better and better, Waterhouse. There were at times some games where I felt they leaned too heavily into individual brilliance. Come to mind games like the 1-0 win against Montego United, as well as that win over Ballers Academy, where those wins were really more so down to individual brilliance of Jamon Lyle. But as a team, they've begun to play with a bit more structure, begin to make better use of the ball. Still more work to be done, of course, but here's Yuan. Goes for goal from distance, but blasted over the bar. Lovely idea, however, good attempt. And just a reminder to those at home, this is a competition that does feature 14 minutes a half in terms of the structure for the games, instead of the usual 45. These are, of course, under 18 players. This is a developmental competition, so not going to put too much strain on the bodies. 40 minutes is still a lot per half, but nevertheless, it is about getting the best out of these young men. Now is Douse progressing forward, looking for options, and eventually finds one out wide in the form of Jay Fletcher. Now he's on the hill, gets it off to Douse, to Beckford. Gets that out wide. Kept in play. Cross coming in. Not a bad one, but not the greatest one in the world either. Now it's Fletcher trying to get beyond Burford, I believe, loses possession, and now here's Tahir Harnett. Under pressure there from on the hill, but clears. But Harbour View get it back. Douse, Beckford. There's Bethune. And a lovely little attempt there at the back heel by Douse, but didn't come off for him. And Linton plays that to Churcher. It's beyond Beckford. Ooh, trying to play that into the path of Robinson, but shoved off it there. Good defending in the end by Kevon Brown. Douse. First time pass to Harvey. And Fletcher trying to beat Fuller there with a turn, unable to, but he does win a throw-in. go out for a corner kick to Waterhouse. Just a reminder before this corner is taken, do have Montego Bay United versus Wells Academy. Stay tuned, and this corner comes in and looked for the head there of Garrick Taylor, unable to find him, and seems a player still down in the box, hobbling. Ooh, crunching tackle from Malik Wright. Wins the ball, however, and it's a clean challenge nonetheless. Of course, mentioned before, number of marquee absentees. No Jamon Lyle today, no Tyreek Robinson either, no Jamon Lyle, no Jishawn Edwards. Number of players unavailable today for selection, but as well as Dwayne Berger as well. Of course, played most recently for Waterhouse. Actually started in their 1-1 draw with Arnett Gardens. Number of players on both teams have been getting regular game time in the senior team, but now here's Sean Churchill through on goal, but turns back, sight of danger. There's a Kemuana with a cross coming in. Robinson leaves it, and a shot. What a save! Adonijah Burford denied. What a save that was by Daquan Jemison. Had to get to that one. That was just the first game. Not even 13 minutes gone, but surely that's going to be up there at the end of the day for save of the week. What a save, and if this result goes in Harbour View's favour, that's one of the highlights that will stick out, ladies and gentlemen. Corner comes in, goes beyond everyone, and that should be going out for a throw. It does. Linton to U1. What? Marauding down that left hand side now is Fuller with a cross and looking for Sean Churchill. Churchill a bit more license to roam forward than he usually has in this game from his midfield position. Of course, there's no Lyle, so has to have other players. Coach Dawson, of course, will want other players to step up in terms of filling those goal-scoring boots, that responsibility. We've seen Dimitri Robinson get a goal so far this season, but they'll be wanting more players to step up in that regard. But now, on the ball, here's Burford. Lamy trying to play that one back to Churchill, but not on the same wavelength as his teammate there. Brown looks crossfield to find, I believe, Kareem Emmanuel. Bethune. Back to Emmanuel. And he's lost the ball here, Beckford. Yuan trying to just flick it past him, unable to. Yuan to Churcher. Waterhouse. Oh, a shot from distance. And had some power behind it, but just needed a bit more subtlety, a bit more accuracy on that one for Jaime Fuller, but good effort nonetheless. But Waterhouse have it right back with Shamar Watt. A couple of step overs, but ultimately loses the ball. Now he's on the hill to Larman. Dowse. Larman. Beckford. Manuel. Beckford. Larman. Goes for goal. Tame effort and easy save in the end for Tahir Harnett in goal. And I must say, ladies and gentlemen, thus far, I've seen a lot of shots from distance, which is what you want to see. You want to see teams having a go instead of just trying to pass it into the net at times. But there has been a shortage of real clear-cut opportunities, barring that wonderful effort from Adonijah Burford, which produced an even better save by Daquan Jemison, one of these saves of the season thus far. Harvey, lovely turn by Dowse. Now here's Payton. Larman can bring the ball forward. Gets to Kajay Fletcher out wide on the right hand side. Has options. Decides to try to take on Watt. Cuts inside, looks for Underhill, and that's cleared away by Garrick Taylor. Expertly, I might add. Now it's Dowse. Goes for goal! Oh, what a save by Tahir Harnett. And both goalkeepers at the moment producing some stellar displays to keep the score locked at 0-0. What a save. Had some power behind that, Dowse. You know he has some venom in his boots. But wonderful, wonderful save from Harnett in goal. And he's already been perhaps one of the better goalkeepers thus far. Imposing figure, but he has the reflexes to match. Lovely lofted cross. And unable to find the head of a teammate, but they do win a throw-in here. Underhill trying to get the return past Emmanuel, unable to, but poor clearance from Lamy does get him back the ball. Underhill with a cross. And a bit of a mix-up there in communication between the Harbourview players, and now they're coming forward on the counter-attack with Jaime Fuller Waterhouse. Cross, look for Churcher, and Jemison easily claims. Now it's Beckford. Now he's on the hill. Has space and decides to shoot. Ill-advised shot, I think, on that occasion. Not just because of the result, but regardless of the result, wasn't the best decision. But you can see on that replay, that's how you take a shot from distance. Quite the amount of power. Laced that one with some real ferocity. And as we get this short little water break, I must say it's been, after what was a pretty slow opening 5 to 10 minutes, it's picked up since then. Produced a couple of really good opportunities, perhaps not clear-cut ones in terms of.
Bring the water to them. Bring the water to them.
Good enough, just go out, hold on for the shirt.
As the players about to get ready to get back onto the pitch, has been a really, really good game so far. It's exciting encounter. Still a number of really promising young talents on show with Zaire Dose producing a wonderful effort already. Of course, you have as the aforementioned Peyton Larman, who has already gotten some starts on some games under his belt at the senior level for the men's team in the Jamaican Premier League. Underhill turns, but plays called back for the previous foul, I believe, on Lamy. And if it's not a foul, play will still be called back to at least get some attention for him. Play resumed, and Underhill loses the ball. Lamy with a good interception there. Burford playing the ball into Robinson. Oh, poor composure on the ball there, and loses possession. Cross coming in, cleared by Garrick Taylor. Larman wins the ball. Now here's Underhill laying it off for Fletcher. Turns, passes to Larmond, under pressure here from Lamy, turns, Dose just leant back a bit and fortunately blasted over the bar. Not the greatest effort in the world there, but another opportunity there for Harbour just going to waste, but they are getting opportunities. They're going to have to eventually turn these into goals, however. Harbourview, of course, will want to keep pace with leaders Mount Pleasant. Of course, they are the reigning champions, and their depth and ability has yet again been on display this year. They are first. Of course, they have played several games more than their next opponents or challengers in the title race. Perhaps 2 or 3 more games, and as a result, perhaps for the next 2 Saturdays you won't be seeing Mount Pleasant play as the rest of the teams try to catch up in terms of games played. But for now, they'll get some much deserved break and rest. They'll be hoping that Harbourview that don't win all their games that they have to play in that span. Kingston Football Academy started on fire as well, but they've kind of gone off the boil a bit in terms of not just results but their performances. Waterhouse have really surprised, however. Beckford decides not to face him. 1v1, and there's Fletcher. Wins a corner here with his directness. forces a good defensive shift there out of Shamar Watt. And Malik Wright will go across on the right hand side to take the corner. And of course, we know that if this ball falls to Zaire Dowse on the edge of the box, it can produce something, a bit of magic. Lovely cross yet again coming in from right, headed on there by a head from Harbour View, but I was about to say easily dealt with but by Harnett, but I think he could have caught that one. I think he was fearful that he might have leaned back into his goal with the ball as he caught it, but still I don't think he needed to punch it over his own goal. And that will be perhaps an unforced corner, in my opinion. And if they do concede from this, it will be not something they would have loved to have, but it's cleared. Oh, it's falling back into the box, and not the greatest clearance in the world from Jaime Fuller. Appeal for handball, but none coming. Churcher leading the counter now. Burford dumped that left hand side, looking for options. Spins around, beats a couple of defenders. Plays into the middle of the park now with Linton, but poor pass. And another counter attack for Waterhouse is foiled. For the opening 20 minutes or so in this game, were perhaps the better team, Waterhouse, in terms of the energy that they were displaying, the ability to just control the ball a bit, but they've gone off the boil here over the last couple of minutes. It's been all Harbour View piling the chances, the shots on. Now a ball over the top looking for Beckford, but couldn't quite track it down with the sun in his eyes. Turns, however, finds Emmanuel, who goes for goal, but his shot is blocked by Linton, and that will be a corner kick now for Harbour View. Harbour View now just beginning to really put the pressure on Waterhouse as he search for the opening goal of this encounter. Corner coming in, sighted by Beckford, and in the end goes beyond all the shirts in yellow and blue, and that will go out for a goal kick. And I have to say the deliveries from Harbour View in terms of set pieces have been stellar, but as of yet they've been unable to capitalize on these great deliveries. None of their attacking players have been able to really force the issue in terms of sticking a boot or perhaps a head onto any one of these crosses. But nevertheless, the deliveries have been fantastic. Now it's Sean Churcher. Another opportunity to lead a counter attack for Waterhouse. There's Yuan. Cuts inside. Burford. Shadil Knight, poor pass, cut out by Peyton Larman. Fletcher switched wings here, seems right. Taking a gamble here, Fletcher, but finds a pass to Dowse, who loses possession there, and the attempted back heel didn't come off there for Jaime Fuller. Dowse gets the ball back, plays it over the top for Kajay Fletcher, Underhill rather, who inexplicably fails to keep the ball in play. Taylor. Jadale Knight shoved off it there. Perhaps a bit of a soft foul in my opinion. But nevertheless, Waterhouse have a free kick here. Just to relieve some pressure in their own half. Clear downfield. It's found its way to Burford. Churcher. Burford. Skipping around the referee there, using him as a screen. A lovely pass out wide to Yuan in space. Cross coming in, a dangerous one. And eventually cleared by Kevon Brown, but wonderful work by Burford to really open up the defense of that right hand side of Harbour View. Knight, neat and tidy player Burford in the middle of the park for Waterhouse. His IQ there on show, able to find space and pick out the right pass as well. Poor pass from Watt. No, it's right. Out wide to Jelani Harvey. And the pass has had a bit too much on it, and Garrett Taylor easily gets that one out. But kept in play by skipper Howard Linton. Good interception there. Now he's Peyton Larman driving forward. Garrett Taylor closing him down and eventually forces him into a mistake, and he clears it off him. Now he's Fuller. Leaves it for Robinson. Churcher, one time pass to Robinson, and there will be a foul there as he crashes into Churcher. Foul for Waterhouse there in the middle of the park. Not the greatest pass in the world there, but Yuan gets it nonetheless. Trying to get the return pass there from Yuan, but Linton clears, well, passes out wide, I should say, to James Fuller. Looks in field with a cross, but that's not the best one. Oh, and has a poor control there by Beckford, and actually put his team in danger there. And Kajay Fletcher perhaps thought the ball had gone out already, handled the ball, and could count himself a bit fortunate to not even get a card there. Taylor. Poor control by Burford, but he, I was about to say, retains position, eventually loses it. And Fletcher seems to have won a foul for Harbour View, and the assistant has urged the referee to give a yellow card. Shamar Lamy. It seems infighting there, but nevertheless, play will resume shortly. Just a short intermission following the fall. The debate surrounding it. It seems Waterhouse's Shamar Lamy has been menaced not just to the opponents following that fall, but he's also quite a troublemaker to his own teammates, who are just urging him to take the game a bit more seriously. Of course, there is always the danger of that in these competitions, where it is, of course, seen as developmental for players to not necessarily give their best effort. We don't really want to see that. I think the day it is for you to get better. That means you have to take it a bit more seriously than this. And we see a player who always takes his game seriously. There, Stephen John Beckford, beautiful skill to get past his man, and that's cut out there by Lamy. Robinson. Unable to retain position. Shamar Watt clears that. Tripped up. No foul. Right. Leaves it for Larmond. Back to right. Swing and a miss. Unfortunately unable to make contact, and that will be Waterhouse's ball. Linton gets beyond his man. Looking for Sean Churcher, but Tristan Bethune is on hand to intercept, and a poor controlling from Ewan. Ball wide from Fletcher. Beckford. Fletcher to Larman. Looking for Beckford. Oh, he's offside, but it was a good opportunity nonetheless. Had a chance there to get a shot off after that control on the chest, but over the bar. There's another shot where he leaned back a bit and never really got in control. Dose gets the ball out wide now to Underhill, going forward, but he's run a foul here. Bit of a soft one as well, but was shoved in stride as he was driving towards goal, and does win a free kick for Harbour View. Pretty dangerous area as well. Gets a free kick for his team. It does seem like Larman is over this with about two other teammates. Seems to be Dose and Beckford perhaps, but it seems it will be Larman to take. Larman! Good attempt. Just wide. As you can see on that replay, it wasn't very far at all. As we see the Montego United players make their way into the stadium, it's just a reminder as the half draws to a close shortly that we do have for you coming up right after this on MG Sports, the second game of today's three-game slate. Montego United playing against Ballers Academy. Promises to be a really good clash, of course. Kyle Hussey of Ballers Academy has been in really, really good form individually. So another exciting young player to look out for there. Montego United still without a win, but they've put together some decent performances at times. They'll be hoping to get their first win of the campaign. And coming up right after is Kingston Football Academy, looking to seize control of their destiny in terms of that top 4 spot. They'll like to continue their great form and pick up a win against an in-form, should I say, Portmore United team. Drew their last game, I believe, against Ballers Academy. referee blows full time. Well, half time, I should say. And at the break, scores are currently Harbourview 0, Waterhouse 0. Started off pretty slowly, but around the 20th minute did pick up. Number of chances for both teams, especially some really good saves from both Daquan Jemison and Tahir Harnett. But live for you from the Ferdinand Sports Complex, we will have second half coverage coming up shortly. It's been John Stewart. We'll be back after the break.
Bingo! You know how much minute?
me I try find it now. No, never did that, never did. Never did. No, me I say me never yet do it. That me I say me never do that. You could have all over that. No, that. Clearance them, you know, the clearance them. You know, the clearance them. Try.
If you have other go outside there, and then you could have put other outside get up the road and stuff. Yeah.
Come like when the man then shift my car move down. But make him push the farm and stuff down. And see it like, yeah. And Jack, I'm stuck like, you know. You can't stop it, stuck there. You can't move there. Hey, we're up. One line then. One line. Me and Malik all day, I'm going to switch and make catch come over. All day, man. Oh, make him laugh, My line, hold on there.
Merchant! You want to go back to that stuff? Give me it.
Who watch TV can hear everything.
Give me it, merchant.
You say Aki now, keep on one in here that can come this you.
Reach a porous stage.
Hey, come on. Come on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on the way. Second half of this KFC Under 18 Elite Cup competition. First match of the day is between Waterhouse and Harbour. After which we will have Montego Bay United playing Ballast Academy. And then Kingston Football Academy in the third game of the day will be taking on Portmore United. But the second half is about to get underway here. Scores still currently 0, but plenty of action in that first half, and we're underway here as we look forward to more. Number of tremendous saves from Tahir Harnett and Daquan Jemison in goal. these two teams will be looking for some sort of spark in the final third to finally take the lead here. Linton trying to find Robinson on that right hand side, unable to on that occasion. Hit it on here. Waterhouse trying to win the ball back high up the pitch. And they do, but didn't really judge the fight the ball properly there. Lamy and now it's Burford. Loses the ball to Brown. Just held on to it a bit too long for his coach's liking. Wright finds Larman now in the middle of the park. To Beckford. Trying to play it on for Larman. And cleared eventually. Put out a play by Shamar Watt. Larman, not sure if it was a shot. I think it was probably a cross, but did come close. And they'll go out free kick. Now it's Dowse. Pass goes astray, and there will be a throw into Waterhouse, which James Fuller leaves for Shamar Watt to take. Looks downfield for Adonijah Burford, unable to find him. But now it's Larman on the ball, trying to get that out wide to Kajay Fletcher, a bit too much on it, and they'll go play. Throw into Waterhouse. Harbour View under some pressure here, but Tristan Bethune does expertly to get away from pressure on the hill. Lovely turn. Not sure why he turned back. Could have gone forward, but now it's Beckford. Dowse finds Peyton Larman in between the lines. Beckford retains position, trying to slip in Malik right, but perhaps could have gone for goal himself there. Picked up by Tahir Harnett, who launches downfield. Picked out by Zahir Dowse. Harvey. Beckford turns and fires straight into Howard Linton, however. Burford gets it out wide to Ewan. Trying to take on Emmanuel. Turns. Burford tries to find Linton, unable to find him. Dowse wide to right. Smartly looks in field and finds Dowse. Fletcher. Good turn, but loses position there, right? That will be Waterhouse's ball now. He can come forward on this counter. And he gets past Bethune quite easily here. Dimitri Robinson goes for goal. And almost went in. Pretty powerful strike from Dimitri Robinson. Daquan Jemison struggled there with the pace of the shot. Put it onto the bar, and after it came off the bar, bounced off his back and almost went into the net. Thankfully for him, It was going at a snail's pace, and so it did not go over the line, but Harbourview bailed out there on that occasion. But they're still coming forward and have two players in the box, unable to find either, however. And Harbourview once more can clear. Zaire Dowse launching downfield. And that's headed on by Garrick Taylor. Harnett. Only as far as Taquan Underhill. Striving forward, has a shot. Blocked by Taylor.
Not clear for pass. Can't the cheeky this run, man.
Oh, leaves his man for dead. That has a shot from distance. Does go wide, but nevertheless, good attempt there. Kachi Fletcher. But here's this opportunity once more from Dimitri Robinson. Beat his man, Tristan Bethune, and the shot, he had his hands up there. You can see he clearly thought. Following the initial save. And he's taking on Bethune again. Robinson has the beating. And the cross! Pretty dangerous one, looking for Jaheim Fuller. Almost went to the goal itself, but goes out for a goal kick. And as mentioned before, that replay saw Robinson's hand up. He clearly thought it had gone over the line after Jameson made the save and pushed it under the bar, and it was slowly creeping over the line, but the referees seem to disagree, and I do as well. Dowse, lovely pass for Beckford. Back to Lormond. Driving forward, looking for options to pass to. Trying to find Beckford, but the pass came a bit too late, and that's intercepted. Harbourview do get the ball back rather quickly. Now it's Dowse in acres of space. Finds Underhill. Turns. Not really put under pressure there. Loses the ball. Fuller looking downfield, trying to find John Churcher, but I suspect that Jemison was going to get there ahead of him anyway, and in any event, the linesman's flag does go up, and that will be an offside decision going against Waterhouse. Lamy leaves it for Linton. Burford. Linton. Under pressure from Dowse. Linton. Fouled by Jelani Harvey. And that will be a yellow card to Zaire Dowse for the earlier foul. Free kick comes in here. Fuller, poor pass. Cut out by Lormond. And now here's Lormond back on the ball again. Driving forward for Harbourview. Looks for Fletcher. Gets past his man. Has a chance to cut inside. Turns. Gets past Shadale Knight. Beckford. Eventually does find Jelani Harvey out wide. Beckford. Back to Harvey.
Brown. Yo, Chad,
Bethune. Ooh, poor pass. And now Waterhouse can put them in trouble. Sean Churcher shoved by Tristan Bethune. Excellent defensive work. Pretty aggressively done, I might add. And in the end, Sean Churcher just didn't have the requisite physicality there to cope with Tristan Bethune there. Harbourview put themselves under pressure with that poor pass, but good defensive work at the end to bail themselves out. Free kick in dangerous position here for that foul on Fletcher on the Harbourview. Do have a foul here. And Waterhouse will feel perhaps rightly aggrieved should they end up losing this game, thanks to this free kick, when they had a decision of their own not go their way in terms of the ball potentially going over the line. Free kick now to be taken, most likely by Dose. I believe that Wright or Peyton Norman, actually. Norman took the last one and was a good attempt. This time it will be Wright, and the attempt not eventually on target. As you can see in the replay there, way over the bar, and Howard Linton perhaps went onto the goal line in vain. Was anticipating a better effort on goal. Leon takes down this and under control, spins away from his man. No fumbles there, but retains possession, urged by his coach there to just get rid of it a bit quicker. Harbourview now putting them under pressure here is Underhill. Right, letting it run across him. Looks for a chance to get a crossing, and that's cleared by Shamar Watt. And that will be a corner kick for Harbourview. They've begun the second half well. Coach Jason Dawson for Waterhouse, not necessarily the happiest camper. Displeased with some of the decision making from his team, and rightfully so. For an unforced corner kick, poor clearance. And a corner now from Malik Wright, who's had some really good deliveries, and that was headed on by Devon Brown, but not on target, blocked. Jemison under pressure from Burford. Gets the pass off in time to Brown. And poor pass, trying to find Fletcher. Lovely bit of skill there by Howard Linton. Ewan, I should say. Now is Linton on the ball. Loses position to Lander. Churcher wins it back, and that will be a free kick.
Chad, you see that pass a while ago, mate? Are you making? Sure.
Plays out wide to Harvey. Lormond shoved off it there by Linton. What? Linton. Looking Fuller out wide, and he does find him, but the offside flag does go up at the right time. Now it's Beckford. Beckford. Cut out there by Lamy. Right. Waterhouse win the ball back here again quickly. Beckford gets that to Norman. And yet another turnover. This time a foul, however, on Burford by Beckford, and that will be a free kick to Waterhouse. Score is still locked at 0-0 here. About 16 minutes into the second half. Plenty of chances, but none yet. Good. Find the back of the net. Not the best first touch there, but his team under pressure. Harbour launched downfield now. There's Lormond. Fletcher trying to find Underhill. Poor pass. And was cut out by Shadale Knight. Taylor looks in field. It goes out wide to Watt. Poor pass, trying to find Lamy. Brown gets it out wide, trying to find Malik. Beckford rather. Gets past his man and wins a free kick, but the referee plays advantage. Now it's Underhill under pressure and gets it out to right in time. Fletcher takes on his man and beats him. Gets past another.
Yes, referee.
Wide, trying to find Brown, unable to. That's cleared by Waterhouse. Dawson's the aerial duel to Robinson. Now his Burford trying to hit the return pass from Robinson, unable to find him. Burford. Harbour still have position. Advantage played, I assume. Beckford trying to burrow his way past three and loses position. Shamar White finds Churchill. Does win a foul for what the referee says is a shove in the back, but I won't lie to you, I don't think I saw a shove, but nevertheless a foul, and it is a yellow card as well, shown I believe to Lamy.
Water.
Break at the moment and play just for some hydration for the players. And as we have just about 20 minutes to go in the half, just a quick reminder for those who need it that there will be another game to come up. Jamaica United will be taking on Ballers Academy. And right after that, we'll be having Kingston Football Academy taking on Portmore United. Of course, as I mentioned before, a number of marquee players on both teams not able to play today, but nevertheless, quality has still been there. Good chances, moments of brilliance, flashes. Hasn't been the best spectacle in the world, but a number of great chances and saves by Eve Keeper.
Then you put up on him and try bounce him. Second thing you try bounce him and him drop over. But it's already? Submit? 1 or 2? Never say you before, that's all.
Play resumes. And Brown held, but still has possession. Poor pass, however, to Fuller, but he does get the foul there eventually for the initial tug there of the shirt. Headed on by Linton, trying to find Jaheim Fuller. Does keep it in play, but eventually puts it out for a throw in to Harbour View. In there, but linesman's flag goes up, and that will be going the other way to Waterhouse. Watt under pressure here, but finds Linton. Lamy into the path of Churchill. And wins a throw in here and takes it quickly, but he's impeded by Brown, and the referee will go back just to warn Brown. It will be a free kick, which will be taken by Jaheim Fuller. Free kick comes in, and that will go all the way over. Not the best of deliveries there. Won't be able to really pose a threat. And goal kick to Harbour View. Seems there will be a change here. Lake Drummond is about to come on for the Nigel Burford. Lake Drummond's, of course, a usual starter, but over the last couple of weeks has had some fitness concerns. But he makes his way onto the pitch now, hopefully with just about 15 minutes to go. The hopes of making some sort of an impact within that time span. And the ball given away there rather cheaply, but Harbour View do win it back. teams not really looked convincing on the ball, I have to say. And Churcher failed to keep that one in play. Thought he was going to get through for Harbour View. Brown takes, headed on by Beckford. Wright does well to shield Linton Offit, who seems to be hobbling at the moment. And Wright somehow still retains possession. Has a chance to cross it here. And it's cleared by Ewan. But only as far as Malik Wright, trying to find Fletcher. And that's cleared once more by Ewan. And unable to keep it in play, Harbourview, and that will be a throw-in to Waterhouse. Malik Wright did really well down the right-hand side to get past his man. Unfortunately, couldn't produce the quality of cross that he would have wanted, but caused some problems on that occasion. Norris Drummond, his first impact on the game, loses possession, but he does win it back high up the pitch here for Waterhouse. Robinson out wide to Churcher, goes for goal from quite some distance, and not a bad effort in the end. We've seen quite a number of shots from that range force some spectacular saves out of both these young goalkeepers, but on that occasion, not quite on target. Brown looking downfield for Malik Wright, unable to find him, and it seems Shamar Watts handled the ball, but the referee doesn't blow his whistle. Kajay Fletcher turns away from Ewan. Payton. Lawman spins around, and despite the cries from Linton, I was about to say the referee ignores them, but seems play is stopped for the loud yell there from Linton. Seems to have caught an elbow or a hand to the face when Peyton Lawman turned. And it seems play will go the other way. Will be a free kick, a foul to Waterhouse. Looking downfield, trying to find Robinson on that occasion, unable to find him. Now here's Emmanuel. Fletcher. Dose. Harvey. Malik Wright has the overlapping run, opts not to use it. Looks in field and finds Dose once more. Looking out wide, but that's headed away only as far as Fletcher. And they lose position here. Good defensive work from Waterhouse, and they're gonna come quickly in transition. Looking over the top, Fuller trying to get on the end of it, but good defensive work, and he's lost the ball here, Kevon Brown, but won it back after a poor touch from Jaime Fuller, who eventually fouls Brown in the aftermath. Brown trying to find Wright, and Shamar Lamy does win a foul there. Waterhouse gets it out wide to Fletcher, trying to take on Knight. He's had the beating of him for the majority of the game, unable to get past him. However, on that occasion now is Akim Yohan looking for Dimitri Robinson, finds him down that right hand side. He has Lek Drummond, tries to find him, but Tristan Bethune stands in his way, and nevertheless Waterhouse do win a throw-in.
Thank you.
Goes behind for a goal kick, and just about on 9 minutes to go in this game really, and I must say, given the talent on show, would have expected a goal by now, but it's been a thrilling game nonetheless. And spurts, some really good chances, but goalkeepers have been excellent when they've been called upon, of course. Right, looking for Emmanuel, and he finds him. Finds a way all. And Ajay Fletcher loses the pass there. Now he's Peyton Larman. Back to Emmanuel, loses position. Drummond, Linton, trying to find Churchill. He does. Retains position despite the pressure. And lovely bit of skill there from Fuller to find some space. And now is Churchill. Lovely turn. Robinson slips in the most inopportune of times. Ruined that attack there for Waterhouse. We just can't seem to get a break. Now it's Fletcher on the attack once more. To Beckford. Fletcher. Emmanuel has a strike! Save once more by Harnett. Not cleared convincingly yet, but eventually do clear their lines, and Harnett's gone down in goal. He's produced a number of saves today, and following that one, he's in some pain. As you can see there on the replay, had some paw behind that shot there from Karim Emmanuel. Still trying to break the deadlock, both teams, but haven't come much closer than that over the last couple of minutes. Really trying to force the issue now, both teams. It seems there will be a substitution. Kajay Fletcher will be making way for Emmanuel Donalds. Harbourview still searching, just 5 minutes to go with searching for a winner. Donalds has space to run into, gets a cross in, headed away by Garrett Taylor. Brown loses possession. Churcher. Fuller. Ill-advised pass will be collected, and now poor attempt at a control on the chest by Fuller, and that will be a throw-in for Harbourview. That was Jelani Harvey going across to take the throw-in. still retaining position despite being under some pressure here. Manuel going down the line and shoved off it here by Shamar Watt, and he does get a goal kick for it. Just looking for the foul, none coming there for Emmanuel. Ball out wide from Drummond into the path of Fuller. And it's a poor cross there, could have gone down the line before crossing. Linton. Watt. And he finds his man out wide, Shadil Knight. Good pass there by Linton. Trying to find Dimitri Robinson, and he does win a free kick there off of Bethune. Gave him a slight shove there as he was trying to latch on to that pass. And that will be a free kick for Waterhouse in a somewhat dangerous position. Free kick comes in now, and shouts for handball, I believe, but no decision to be made there. And there's Kareem Emmanuel trying to chase this down for Harbour View, and Shamar Watt beats him to it, and I believe Harbour View win a free kick, I believe. And it seems to be a double substitution on the way here for Waterhouse. McCoy Bradnock about to make his way onto the pitch. So too is Raheem Brown. And off the pitch, making their exit off the pitch will be now Sean Churchill with yet another industrious performance. And Dimitri Robinson, who produced a wonderful shot that was tipped onto the bar and perhaps even scored, but referee didn't see it go across the line. So as of now, it does remain with just under 2 minutes to go, 0-0. But this could change with this free kick now from Lormond, coming into a dangerous area, and that's cleared, I believe, by Fuller for a corner kick to Harbour View. It seems Waterhouse still have a player down there. Peyton Lorman will be taking the corner kick. It seems that Linton's okay now. Won't be requiring medical attention anymore. Lorman with the corner kick, headed away by Fuller. Dose. Harvey. Ooh, and that's picked up by you, and now he has a number of players in support. Drummond trying to find his man, but perhaps I think that had the initial pass been from Ewan been to Fuller out wide on that left hand side, it would have been a better attack. But now his Drummond picks it up in space, leaves it for Bradnock, has a shot from distance, and his teammates are absolutely livid. Good position, but he was off balance when he took the shot. Had a number of options to his right and to his left. Opted to go alone. Can't fault him exactly, but if you're going to shoot from there, better make sure your execution is top notch, and it wasn't on that occasion. But now they have an opportunity to go again. What a save! Had some fizz on it there. That shot from Jaime Fuller, but once more, these two goalkeepers at it. Both vying perhaps for who will be man of the match. Because if it stays 0-0, that's where it really seems to be heading in terms of potential man of the match candidates. They've both been fantastic in goal, producing some stellar saves. Corner coming in here, headed away by Brown. Only as far as Raheem Brown finds Bradnock. First touch wasn't the best, but does win a corner off of Jelani Harvey. And there's a shot from distance here and saved once more from Jemison. Both goalkeepers, as I said before, are unbelievable today. Beating that away at his near post, Jemison had to get low. And the referee blows his whistle, and that will be full time. Game ends 0-0 here. The first game of the KFC Under-18 Elite Cup for today, with Harbourview drawing 0-0 with Waterhouse. Next game coming up for you shortly between Montego Bay United and Ballers Academy. And coming up for you, just the highlights of the game.
Bye.